I think it expresses the frustrations that the American people feel, that we had the biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression, huge collateral damage all throughout the country, all across Main Street, and yet you're still seeing some of the same folks who acted irresponsibly trying to fight efforts to crack down on abusive practices that got us into this problem in the first place.
That was President Obama earlier today, commenting on the growing frustration being expressed by the Occupy Wall Street movement protesters. That movement is spreading to cities across the United States and across the border to Canada starting next week. Chris Hedges is a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter and author and a participant at the Occupy Wall Street rally in New York last week and in Washington today. He joins us from our Washington bureau. So, Mr. Hedges, you were a participant in the protest. How would you describe your role in this movement?
I'm not an organizer. I'm speaking tonight at the rally in Washington, and I've given interviews and participated in events in New York.
So what exactly is everybody complaining about? And to also give me a sense of how much momentum this movement has, because it looks pretty nothing burger so far. Just a few guys, guitars, nobody knows what they want. They can't even name the names of the firms that they're protesting against. Very weak, low budget.
I wouldn't agree with that assessment at all. They pulled thousands of people into the street last night, and here in Washington, when everybody marched past Bank of America, they were shouting shame, shame, shame. They know the names of these firms, and they know what these firms have done, not only to the American economy, but to the global economy and the criminal class who runs them.
Well, Kevin made this point of, nobody knows what they want. What do you say to that? I mean, we know that this is a very diverse group. There are many different agendas at play. What is the sense you have of what this movement would like to see happen?
They know precisely what they want. They want to reverse the corporate coup that's taken place in the United States and render the citizenry impotent. And they won't stop until that happens. And frankly, if we don't break the back of corporations, we're all finished anyway, since they're rapidly trashing the ecosystem on which the human species depends for survival. This is literally a fight for life. It's that grave, it's that serious. Corporations, unfettered capitalism, as Karl Marx understood, is a revolutionary force. It commodifies everything, human beings, the natural world, which it exploits for profit until exhaustion or collapse. And the bottom line is we don't have much time left. We are on the cusp of perhaps another major banking crisis in Europe, defaults in Greece, followed by Spain, Portugal. There's been no restrictions, no regulations of Wall Street. They've looted the U.S. Treasury. They've played all the games that they were playing before. And we're about to pay for it all over again.
Listen, don't take this the wrong way, but you sound like a left-wing nut bar. If you want to shut down every corporation and every bank, where are you going to get a job? Where are you going to work? Where's the economy going to go?
Corporations don't produce anything. And
oh, really?
No. Financial corporations on Wall Street.
Are you driving a car to the protest?
No. They are speculators. I'm talking about the financial institutions like Goldman Sachs. They don't manufacture. They don't make anything. They gamble. They use money, and they believe falsely that money is real as we dismantle our manufacturing base and send jobs over the border to Mexico and finally into the embrace of China.
Well, I see that you and Kevin could get into an absolutely huge argument here.
I don't usually go on shows where people descend to character assassination. If you want to discuss issues, that's fine, but I mean, this sounds like Fox News, and I don't go on Fox News. I mean, either you discuss the issues, and look, you have had very eloquent writers, people like John Ralston Saul in Canada, who have laid this out with, incredible lucidity. And to somehow attack this critique by calling someone a nutcase engages in the kind of trash talk that's polluted the corporate airways.
Excuse me. Let's debate the issues then. You
were the one who started it. You were
I
not
didn't
debating
call you
the
a
issues.
nutcase. I called you a nutbar.
You said you sounded
all right?
like a left-wing nutcase.
Yes, bar.
Okay, that's
bar.
an insult. And,
Hey, are you left-wing and leaning at least? Would you say?
No, I would say that.
You're a centrist?
Can I finish?
Please.
I would say that those who are protesting the rise of the corporate state are in fact on the political spectrum the true conservatives, because they're calling for the restoration of the rule of law. The radicals have seized power, and they have trashed all regulations and legal impediments to a reconfiguration of American society into a form of neo-feudalism. And that's what we're really asking for, is the restoration of the rule of law.
Okay, but you don't see any value in the banking system providing a financial infrastructure.
That's not what I said. I didn't say that.
I'm asking you.
A banking system that functions as a banking system should. And in Canada, you do not have a banking crisis because you did not tear down the walls between commercial and investment banks and turn all of your banks into hedge funds. If instead of handing massive sums of money to Citibank, Wells Fargo, which are basically zombie banks, they still hold tremendous toxic assets, we had created 10 regional banks with $10 billion each and leveraged them 10 to 1, people could have been saved. 6 million people have been pushed out of their homes because of foreclosures and mortgages. We could have reinvested in communities. Small businesses which cannot get credit would have gotten credit. Instead, they're just sitting on the capital and not lending it.
So we're certainly giving you an opportunity to speak your mind. Just so we can come full circle, what do you suggest should be done with Goldman Sachs specifically?
They should be prosecuted. When you shove subprime mortgages on families that you know can't repay it, and then you dice up those mortgages as assets and sell them and bet against them through AIG, that's fraudulent activity.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We liked hearing your thoughts.
It'll be the last time.